I think the Lions match up with Philadelphia because their O-line. I think they match up with Dallas because their O-line. I think they match up with San Francisco because of their O-line.
I mean, this is Ford Field, hadn't had a playoff game in 23 years. They're going to host one.
The Detroit Lions fiercely still show the league and the world that they are one of them ones, that this is not the same old Detroit Lions team. I know it's been said before, but it's reality now. Genuinely, like, it's reality. The Detroit Lions and what they have done so far is show that any organization that is really, really bad, that is consistently overlooked, can definitely change in a span of 2 to 3 years. If you get the quarterback position right, and if you hold the people accountable that are drafting your players, but most importantly, if you can find a head coach that has either played this game or has the emotional integrity of respect towards this game, as Dan Campbell does, who of course he's done both, okay? He should not be doing this. He should not be doing this. He should not be coaching at this high of a level, but it's happening. And this is just a beautiful testament to him. All I genuinely know is this: there better not be rumblings of another head coach winning Coach of the Year this season. Who can you actually genuinely put in that conversation of Coach of the Year that has surpassed what Dan Campbell has built in Detroit? I don't think you can put up a legitimate argument of any coach deserving the award over him. Next, Jared Goff. Man. You know, it's also just beautiful to see a player. I mean, I gotta say quarterback, because it's different with the quarterbacks. A quarterback that was in a situation of having the world on his shoulders of being a number 1 overall pick, in first being in St. Louis, then moving to Los Angeles, the heart of Los Angeles, and being booted out, being traded away. And then once you're traded away, that team then wins a Super Bowl. The team that you were traded away from wins a Super Bowl. And, sorry, Detroit fans, hear this out. You're in Detroit. You go from Los Angeles to Detroit? Just from a city-to-city perspective. I've never been to Detroit, so maybe I'm talking out of my behind. I'm just going off of what I'm pretty sure is the consensus. And you say, okay, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to commit to this team. I'm going to buy into what the coach is selling. And I'm going to be the best MFer I can possibly be. Jared Goff, 333 yards, passing 23 out of 33 tutties, and had a passer rating of 122.4 against the Los Angeles Chargers. I have to note, I haven't done it yet. I haven't done the list yet. What are we talking? Jared Goff is clearly in my top 10, guys. I think after what I saw, I gotta reevaluate the top 5. I have to reevaluate the top 5. I take it very seriously. Tune in, Real Friends of Football. We're gonna have an end of the year cap and gown. We're gonna rank everybody. That's gonna be the ranking. Jared Goff he's special, and you forget he was a number 1 overall pick from what the media really shamed him as he's going through those growing pains with the Rams. Amon Ra St. Brown, 8 receptions on 9 targets, 156 yards, and a beautiful, beautiful touchdown. That little scampering screen that he had. Bad pass by Jared Goff, but Amon Ra St. Brown picked it up off the ground, didn't touch it, and he scampers in for that touchdown. And this is another one. It's just so tough. Guys, so of course, you're a Lions fan. You're already probably where I'm about to say, but you guys have to give us a break because you're watching it with your heart. I'm watching it just with my eyes and my knowledge. I have no heart for Detroit. Amon Ra St. Brown might be the best slot in the NFL. He might be the best slot receiver. Cooper Kupp, I guess. It's tough, man. Amon Ra, it's unorthodox. Like the way he moves, it's like a running back, but he gets the ball. He runs great routes. He's able to cross the faces of safeties with ease, which is not easy to do. And he just continuously I doubted Amon Ra St. Brown coming out of college. This is called accountability right now. I'm being accountable. right? So I was one of those jerk-offs that was kind of writing him off like he's a USC receiver. It's not going to happen. That's my bias that I need to fix and change. I saw USC receiver. I was like, they never really pan out anything great, anything special. Amon Ra St. Brown is telling me, Miles, shut up. Don't look at colleges. Look at the player. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. So I got to reevaluate that self. That's called accountability. Man, this combination, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. I refuse to call him Gibbs just because Gibby is just what he's Gibby. 12 carries for 116 yards and a touchdown with a 75-yarder. We got to talk about the 75-yarder in a second. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, 14 carries, 77 yards and 2 tutties. The best backfield in the NFL too, with the best offensive line in the NFL too, with a top 5, potentially for sure, top 8 quarterback in Jared Goff. And then you have the best slot in the game. And then this is the scariest point, because I'm sure we'll talk about Ben Johnson in a few seconds, but I know what Ben Johnson has at the receiver position. I know what Dan Campbell sees in that receiver position. I know what he does in practice. And there's been these rumblings about his hands. That always gets fixed. Jameson Williams, when you guys figure it out, when he figures it out, oh my gosh. This is how I know it's going to work out with J-Mo. The 75-yard touchdown by David Montgomery. How many receivers, when they have to block, do they really stay on their blocks? Or when they have to block, do they really go out of their way to pick up the best block possible for another player? Very few receivers actually do that, or want to do that, or care to do that. I'm going to go a step further with what J-Mo did on that 75-yarder with David Montgomery. He celebrated. Jameson Williams celebrated after his 1B2 block that he secured for David Montgomery. Everything is beautiful, and the best way I've been able to describe this Detroit team is you're all misfits. You're all discarded. You're a team that no one really gave a chance to. You have multiple players in David Montgomery, Jared Goff, that people gave up on y'all. Like, Detroit's the place where you go to die, essentially, in your career. And when you leave, that's when your career could be rejuvenated. No, not anymore. You come to Detroit to be a winning team, to be a part of something great. That's the new manifesto of Detroit. You come to be great. Come to get the greatness. It's beautiful. It's awesome. Sam Laporta, I didn't even talk about him. He could turn out to be one of the best tight ends in the National Football League also. And Jameson Williams, his draft class, I had him as my wide receiver 2 behind Garrett Wilson. And so I'm such in awe. Now, there is something that we have to talk about, and it is about your rookie linebacker, Jack Campbell. I need somebody to give me a quick breakdown of how he's been doing this entire season. And Jack, I want you to hear me very carefully. You're my number 1 linebacker in the draft. Like, I like you a lot. You're awesome. You're amazing. I know you will never have this ever happen again. If I ever see a wide receiver stiff arm you the way Keenan Allen did, we're going to have problems, bro. Problems. But other than that, you're great. You're awesome. Alex Anzalone, you are becoming a household name to those that love and appreciate football. Grandmas and moms, and they're not going to know who you are, but the people that actually love the game of football, Alex Anzalone, we will know your name. I know your name, and I'm looking out for you, and I know you're one of the greats in the league. Guys, this team, we have to make the playoffs. I was going to say something crazy. We got to make the playoffs. Let's start there, and then we can talk about what you guys are destined for. Give me a playoff berth, and then let's talk about what I truly, truly believe what you guys are destined for. And in the meantime, let me know in the comments what you guys believe y'all are destined for. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe.